commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio, from the heart of Lincoln, America. Expanding awareness about the TeamMates program and the ever-growing need for mentors. This is TeamMates Timeout with TeamMates CEO Des Moines Adams and Marketing and Communications Manager Ashton Honor.
Well, hello, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, and Wyoming. But let me go back to Nebraska because we have a lot of people that are excited because the Huskers are going to a bowl game. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what bowl game that we go to. But welcome to TeamMates Timeout with DeMo and Ash. I am DeMo. I got my partner in crime, Ash, and we also have a special guest that we're going to get to here in a little bit. Ash, it is cold outside.
I'm just thankful I'm not at state football right now, freezing outside. Looks like they've had some great games the last 2 days. Yeah. How about Millard South last night?
Just watching former Husker Damon doing his thing on the west side sideline. I thought they were going to pull it off, but it's all about that fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. Who has that motor? Who has that grit? And Millard South wanted it more.
It looks like we've got Wahoo. We're up right now versus Central City, and then tonight in the nightcap, Class B, Bennington versus Omaha Skutt, which is a rematch.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, how about those Huskers?
Oh,
we're talking last Friday. The Huskers put it off against those Creighton Blue Jays, and then for the Husker football team,
women's volleyball sweeping Wisconsin. That was a huge win.
Now I'm just asking because I know you're a huge Nebraska Wesleyan.
Yes.
Did Nebraska Wesleyan win anything at all?
I do not know. That's a very bad look for all my P-Wolves listening right now. Let's just disregard that.
Well, we're excited to be back.
Yes.
And, this month has been all about showing our gratitude. Mm-hmm. And we'd love for you to kind of help everyone to get a glimpse of what we've been up to, like as a recap of last week.
So last week, how awesome. We had Lincoln Police Chief Michonne Morrow with us to talk about integrity and trust. And I mean, who better else than the police chief and everything that she is implementing there with that police department. One of my favorite one-liners that she had last week was hand out versus hand up and paying it. And you added in about paying it forward. But her whole point of a handout, like here, I'm going to hand something to you on a platter. Like you don't have to do any work to get there versus the hand up. I'm going to empower you to get where I need you to be, which I think it correlates so well with our mission in positively impacting the world by empowering students to reach their full potential through mentoring. Like we are calling those kids up. We are here to help them and put them on that great path forward. So I absolutely loved her analogy, hand out versus hand up. And again, you added in the concept of paying it forward, which essentially is just kind of like the ripple effect.
Yeah. Just given the positions that we all are in, just thinking of Chief Morrow, she's the chief, but she's a product of the community that she's serving.
Right.
And for her to serve as a teammate's mentor, but also to allow all of her staff, her officers to also use their role to be positive role models to the community. I mean, what better way to pay it forward than to be reminded where you come from,
Mhm.
those people that impacted you, and how can you impact others. And so that's why I'm excited about our special guest today, because, when I think about this young man who is from small town Johnson Brock, Auburn area, southeast part of Nebraska, Mr. Kevin Clark, president and CEO of Acres. I mean, Kevin, you are a big deal. And to choose to partner with Teammates Mentoring, which, some of your partnerships include University of Nebraska Athletics, which is a
Mhm.
big deal. And then here we are, Teammates Mentoring, but then also very grateful that you chose to serve on our Teammates board. Kevin Clark, welcome to our show.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And of course, great to see you guys, and thrilled by the Husker wins this weekend, of course, as
Yes.
well. And it's a true privilege to be able to be involved with teammates, and the impact that it has, not only in the people that get mentored, but also on the people that get to participate. 'Cause I think it's a very rewarding thing for the mentors to be able to be involved with it as well. And
Absolutely.
I see that every day when I talk to the different people involved.
Yeah. So, as you hear us talk about, paying it forward, for a lot of people, when they see your brand, Acres, and when they get to know, who's responsible for their brand, first time I met you, Kevin, humble. And you talked about where you came from, the value of hard work, and just what you stand for. What does it mean for you to pay it forward?
Great question. And you're right. Growing up in a relatively small town, I grew up in Auburn, of course, and it's very similar to a lot of the other communities that Acres serves across the state, very agricultural oriented. And I think paying it forward isn't just about, making sure you do things financially. It's about spending the time, energy, and effort to help other people. And whether you can help one person, then who pays it forward to multiple people, there's an exponential effect to that. And you can have a much greater impact across the community by being able to do that. And that one act of kindness, or spending a little bit of time, or even mentoring somebody like with the Teammates program, has a ripple effect beyond just what you do. And that really is what pay it forward means to me, is in terms of having that exponential effect.
And he doesn't even have our script, and he's
I
even
know, this
using
is
the word
very
ripple
impressive.
effect.
Very impressive. You can tell he's one of our board members, though.
Absolutely.
He knows his stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, Kevin, as one of our Teammates board members, what inspired you to get involved with Teammates?
Well, it's really a couple of things. One is that I'd obviously heard of Teammates over the years, and through my relationship with Coach Osborne, I certainly knew what it was. But the real tipping point for that was then my oldest son became a mentor.
Okay.
Out in Ord, Nebraska, Ethan. And I saw the impact that not only he was having on the young person's life that he was mentoring, but also what it was doing for him, and how excited he was to be involved with the program. And so then I started asking more questions about it. And then that's actually how we ended up meeting, kind of on a side note. I think we met over by the stadium at one of the football games, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we started talking, and then one thing led to another in terms of what was the biggest impact that we could make. And then it started off with, how do we encourage Acres employees to become mentors? And what's really powerful about that is that since we have 26 stores in Nebraska in different communities and really cover a large part of the state, it gives us a different reach than if we were all just in one spot. So being able to hit that many communities with that many people is a big deal. And we were able to leverage that kind of geography to be able to increase the number of mentors that we had.
And you also have stores in Kansas as well, correct?
We do. We have one store in Kansas as
Okay.
well. So we have 27 stores total, and serve a wide variety of different communities, of course. And we're very, very proud of that.
Yes.
But the Teammates program, I think, has become part of our DNA, if you will, in terms of an organization. It's one of our main programs from a charitable aspect that we do. We donate financially as well as the time, energy, and effort, and encourage our employees then to be mentors as well.
Which
and pay it forward, just like we were talking about.
You're
right?
kind of diving in a little early. We're going to come back, though, to that Acres mentoring model that you guys have implemented.
Sure.
But I'm glad you mentioned that right out of the chute, though, because we're super excited to talk about that.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Now, kind of talk to us a little bit about your experience as a board member.
So coming on to the board of Teammates, it was one of those things that, while there's time involved, is really much more than that, right? In terms of the people that you meet on that board, it's an outstanding board full of
Mhm.
high level professionals, and it's very humbling to be in a room with that much horsepower, if you will, in terms
Right.
of business and community activity. And so it's definitely humbling, and it gives you kind of that, back to the word, gratitude of things you
Mhm.
get to do. So it's not only something I get to do; it's a privilege to be on that board and to interact with all those people and see not only what they do for teammates, but what they do for the community as a whole in their businesses.
Right. I mean, just listening to you talk about acres and everything that you guys are involved in. Of course, we're ex- just so incredibly grateful for our partnership with Acres, which again, I'm going to talk a little bit about here coming up in our second segment. But it's just so awesome to see all of the wonderful things you guys are doing in the not only the community, because I know your headquarters is based in Lincoln, but just across the whole state of Nebraska, and then also your one location in Kansas as well.
Sure, that we do have a wide variety of different community activities across all the areas that we serve, and we really let our store managers have a lot of
Oh,
say in terms of
nice.
what gets done locally,
Okay.
whether that's being supporting a local team or being involved in a parade or a county fair, or all,
Hmm.
all those types of things. So, and by making sure we have that at that local level, I think it has the best impact for what needs to be done at that that community piece, right, for how they serve that area.
Right.
I gotta say, Kevin, since I've known you, because our first time meeting together was a year and 2 months ago, September.
Feels like
And
we've known each other way longer than that.
yes, yeah.
DeMo has that effect.
Yeah.
And talking about effect, I left that meeting asking, like, can I get some swag? And not only did you give me swag, but today we have your logo
Mhm.
and our teammates mentor logo. I mean, which, talk about
Yeah.
pride, purpose, and partnership. When I say those three words, what does that mean to you and to Acres, when it comes to when you choose to partner with an organization?
Well, anytime you put your brand on something through attaching your logo to it, it's really important that you're very thoughtful about that,
Mhm.
because it can have some undesired effects if you're not careful in terms of who you associate with. It's the same with the Nebraska N, right? Of how that logo gets used. We're fortunate that we get to use that logo and some stuff too through our sponsorship with the athletic program. But it's the same with the teammates logo. That stands for something. It's been around since early 1990s, and what is it, 47,000 plus people have been through the program. So that brand, that teammates brand, is very important, and to be able to attach the Acres logo next to that stands for something too, in terms of that community service aspect, that charitable aspect, and the pay it forward that we were just talking about. So it adds power to our brand to be able to associate it with the teammates logo like that.
And I would say for us, that's why we're so grateful, because when we see Acres, I think of Nebraska football head coach Matt Rule with his earphones on, and there's this Acres sticker on national TV. Before I go to a Husker game, there's the Champions Club, and I see Acres, as pretty much naming the Champions Club. And so um it seems like there's a lot of humility when it comes to your leadership, but then also there's a lot of pride, and there's a lot of purpose, and there's a lot of partnership when it comes to both of our brands. And I appreciate Ashton, because she is all about the brand, right?
Mhm. Yes. So speaking of the brand, um, you skip forward in our segments. I was like, he just threw me off.
I will say something else about the brand, and we're very fortunate to have the relationship with the university, both the alumni association, regarding the Acres Champions Club, and then of course all the different things we do with the athletic department. And it is really, really cool to see Coach Rule with the Acres on there. It's even on the little microphone on the headset, of course,
Yes.
right? And he is such a great guy, and a fantastic coach, of course, as well. So we're, again, privileged to be able to have that on there. And I always joke that when I travel across the U.S. for different meetings, I used to get asked about tractors and combines all the time. Now, one of the first questions I get is everybody sees the headset on
Love
TV, so I
it.
get asked about that a lot. So from a marketing standpoint, it's worked out really well. And of course, the athletic department is just fantastic to work with in terms of the marketing aspects of that.
Now, Kevin, not only are you CEO, like you, just listening to you and just interacting with you, like you're one of the few CEOs who I've met who actually have a grasp on the marketing world. I almost feel like that's almost unheard of a little bit. So that's exciting for me as the marketing manager here with TeamMates, just to have that opportunity, just to like within our board, like you and Becky and Nick, you all kind of have that same like marketing mindset, which is awesome to have. Talking about Acres being branded on the Champions Club and Coach Rule's headset, talk about how that makes you feel as a CEO, seeing your brand associated with, I mean, the big end down the street here. That is our pro sports here.
Yeah, you can't really attach your brand to a more popular
Right.
brand in the state than attaching it with the N, of course. Right?
Yes.
And I do have a lot of pride in that, being a born and raised Nebraska guy and a Nebraska-owned company as well with Acres. What better chance do you have to promote your brand by attaching it to that? And when we started Acres about a little over 5 years ago, right? So one of the things I joked about, well, I really wasn't joking, but that I said I wanted, all 2 million people in the state to either see or hear our brand every single day. And sometimes I think we're close to that. And other days I'm like, no, we still got to do more. We spent a lot of time on the name and the logo and all that kind of stuff at the start. And so I've got a lot of pride and personal time, energy, and effort in building out Acres and what we do every day. So I have a lot of pride in the company and our employees and our stakeholders and of course the brand as a whole, and getting to attach that next to the end, whether it's at the stadium or on a shirt or a hat or whatever swag you want to talk about. It brings me a lot of pride growing up here in the state, and the relationship that I've been able to have with Coach Osborne over the years is when I was a little kid, and you watch football growing up, I never would have thought I would have known him and been on his board and all that kind of fun stuff, right? So, and of course, you've never met probably a greater man than Coach Osborne, right? You talk about gratitude and humility and so forth. He is the poster child for that, right? And what a fantastic man! It's a privilege to get to know him and serve on that board with him as well.
Which that kind of leads me into my next point about how TeamMates, and we'll just use DeMo's shirt here as an example, just how powerful not only your Acres brand is, but also, again, to your point of associating that brand and how specific you are and who you associate with. I'm the same way with what you and I are both the same way in our vision of that TeamMates brand. And we are very particular about where that is being seen right now. So we're going to talk about that Reed grant and kind of where you're going to see our TeamMates brand kind of like plastered all over the state right now. But just one, Kevin, thank you in this month of gratitude. Thank you and to your team at Acres for associating your brand with our brand, a longstanding brand, which you talked about. Coach, and Nancy Osborne and just everything that they created. And so it truly is a privilege to be associated with that Acres brand. But we're not done with this conversation. We're coming back here. We've got a lot to cover still. This is TeamMates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket.
And safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for many things this year and every year and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends as we reflect on what we're thankful for. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see increasing cloud cover throughout the day, and it will be breezy with the high around 46. Tonight, mostly cloudy and calm winds with a low near 30. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, and it will be breezy again with a high around 41. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Davis Plumbing is a locally owned company specializing in a wide range of plumbing services for both commercial and residential customers. Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and has a team of experienced plumbers ready to help you with any project, big or small. Customer satisfaction and peace of mind is their number one priority. So for any commercial or residential project, give Davis Plumbing a call today at 402-525-6922. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket. We are so honored to be joined by Acre CEO Kevin Clark, who is also one of our Teammates board members. Before we went to break, as you can see, we changed scenery a little bit. Those high school football games just got done. That C1 game or whatever. So we're back in our normal space. So this is kind of, you get a feel for what we every week. But before we went to break, we were starting to talk about kind of the Teammates story and how honored we are that you chose us to associate your brand with, because the Teammates brand is a longstanding brand. Teammates was created back in 1991 by Dr. Tom, Coach Tom, and Nancy Osborne. And what a lot of people don't know, Teammates was Nancy's idea. And to my knowledge, she pretty much told Coach, like, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to use your platform to do it, which is awesome. And so Coach asked in his locker room who would like to mentor 7th and 8th graders in the Lincoln Public School systems. 22 hands went up. And of that original mentoring class, all 22 graduated, with 18 of which had post-secondary education plans. Yeah. And since 1991, we have served roughly over 49,000 students. We are in 187 chapters across 5 states, and we proudly serve currently 10,000 students, which is absolutely
amazing.
Isn't it though?
Amazing.
So when you talk about your brand and just watching you talk about it and the pride that you have, I'm like, oh, this is like the pride that we have for our brand. So again, please know how much we appreciate you, your leadership, and everything that you do for the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is a very special thing. And I do take a lot of pride in that.
Yes. DeMo, before we dive back in for some questions with Kevin, what age group is most in need of mentors right now?
Right now, we are, we serve 3rd through post-secondary, but I would say that 3rd through 5th grade, there is such a need because these students were impacted 4 years ago by COVID, and their reading proficiency levels are down. And data shows that when a positive, caring adult spends 30 to 45 minutes with them once a week at the school during the school day, it impacts attendance, grades, behavior, but also levels of hope. Also, when it comes to their well being, and just overall being excited about school. You know, when we think about Nancy and Tom Osborne, what they started, you know, I always like to see school as a game.
Mhm.
And our mentors become teammates with a young person. And to help our third through fifth graders to be winners in the classroom so that they can one day be winners in life. Because the reality is, Kevin, if students can't read, they can't learn. And so most of our mentors meet with students over the lunch hour. A lot of times they meet with them in the library, and they can play a game, chess or checkers, or they could read these cool books that various topics. You know, we partner with Link to Literacy, but we're definitely in need of more mentors for third through fifth graders because not only to help close that gap because of our partnership with the state, but also here's an opportunity for us to really make an impact in a special way. And we've been doing that for the last 33 years, almost 34 years. And just when we think about our mission, when I hear those numbers,
Mhm.
Kevin, there's so much more work to be done. And just with our partnership, you, as the CEO and president of Acres, told your employees get involved, give back, become a teammates mentor. Um, Now, decision makers, that's a pretty big ask. Not an ask, but a statement. Uh, why was that important?
Well, a couple of things. One, I'm going to also comment on something you said there that, 1 hour a week or so to do this isn't a huge time commitment. And that 1 hour can change the trajectory of a young person's life entirely and make them winners in life as they go through all the trials and tribulation that life throws at you, of course. And having that one extra adult in your life that can share different experiences with you that's separate from your teachers or your parents
Mhm.
or what have you, I think is really important to show them some other things in the world. And sometimes these young people just need that, particularly the ones you mentioned coming out of the COVID, years. So it's really, really important that people understand that being a mentor pays back multiple times over than just the 1 hour a week that you spend with the young person. And I think as an organization, we look across all the different things that we do, and we've looked at how do we make the biggest impact into the areas that we can serve, and having a coordinated scenario through teammates was a lot easier than trying to do 27 different programs all over
Right.
the state. And then you look at the teammates structure that's in place, the vetting that takes place both from the student and the teachers and the mentors and all the structure and the coordination that it takes. That's a huge deal. It makes it a lot easier for an organization like Acres to plug into that and encourage the employees because that structure is already there. And I think it makes not only me have a lot of pride in Acres, but I think our employees have a lot of pride in Acres when we're able to give back to communities, not only from, doing some donations, but
Mhm.
that impact the communities for the young people involved. And hopefully that has an exponential impact as well as other people become mentors, not only from Acres, but when other companies, whether it's other CEOs or even other employees of companies say, hey, if Acres can do that, so can we.
Yeah.
And hopefully that helps that payback forward again scenario, right? So,
Yes.
that's one of the things that as I talk to other CEOs, not just the ones that are on the teammates board, but other ones within my industry or other people that I meet from an executive level, and various business meetings, I always try to bring up teammates and encourage them as well to look into it and encourage their employees at the same time. So again, to get that exponential effect, I think is really important. And not only to grow the program, but to the continuation of the program, an ongoing impact.
Wow. I mean, just to even hear you advocate for us in meetings, I mean, you are teammates.
Mhm.
I'm part of it,
you
right?
are.
I'm dedicated to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we tell our mentors all of the time, they are the ones that put the team and teammates. And for you as a board member, you help us to put the team and teammates. And so, I mean, that's why we're so grateful for servant leaders like yourself, because you get it. You speak the language. You understand how important that 30 to 45 minutes once a week means, but also would love for you to share with everyone who's listening about how impactful it was when your son shared with you of his experience as a teammates mentor.
So I still remember the first time he talked to me about it. In fact, it was when he was signing up for the program, and the different references and so forth that he was using, and the history of that. And it goes back to that structure and vetting process and so forth, right? And I could see how excited he was to enroll in the program, and he was really crossing his fingers of kind of who he would get to be able to mentor. And I think he saw a pretty immediate impact. I mean, it was just a matter of weeks before he saw the impact he was having, and how excited the young man was to meet with my son when he went to the school to meet with him. And I saw changes over time in terms of the positive attitude that he had. I think it's going to make him a better father as well, in terms of having that experience with a young person at the same time. In fact, he just became a father, so I'm a grandpa now. I was
Oh,
I gotta brag that up too, right? So, little baby James, right? So, truly, it'll make Ethan a better father, and I can see that in him. And it was also neat that just to see and hear some of the teachers that I've gotten to meet in Ord and the comments that they've made about what an impact it's made on that young person's life, and also the ripple effect inside the school at the same time. So I'm proud of him for enrolling in the program and being a successful mentor in that, and being kind of a role model for other mentors at the same time. And I think it's made him a better, well-rounded person as well, and brings a lot of pride as a dad myself into that, right? So very, 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 very happy about that.
I feel like you're the second person, because Chief Morrow talked about how when you give back, it makes you a better person. And you mentioned how your son will be a better person. He will be a better father because he is a mentor. Um, and going back to that ripple effect, I feel that you pay it forward by kind of doing the things that you're doing in your role. You're using your amazing platform um, to be a role model and to lead by serving, and that makes you a better person. For those that are listening, talk more about how giving back makes you a better person.
Well, for me, it's kind of two things. One is it gives you a sense of accomplishment and well-being and pride, if you will, in terms of being able to do that. Um, and secondarily, it also makes me feel good from a standpoint of how I was raised in kind of that wholesome Nebraska way, right? I owe a lot to my parents, who still live down in Auburn, so still get down there and see them quite a bit. And very thankful that I had such a great family growing up, and not everybody's blessed with that. So when I think through the teammates program and all the opportunities there, that it makes me feel good to be involved with that, because not everybody had the same opportunities that I did in terms of such a loving family. And so it gives me, kind of that internal pride, not just external pride, to be involved with that.
Yeah. And Ashton, she oversees our marketing, communications, and recruitment. And so, Ashton, I'm just curious, when you hear Kevin talk, uh, we are asking people to give the gift of time. And for our young people to have access to positive role models, how does that make you feel that you get to oversee this effort that we're giving young people access to positive role models?
From my previous world that I came from, it was all about serving kids and providing kids with opportunities. And so I think that has just been magnified here at Teammates, and that just the impact that we can have And the opportunity, especially thanks to this re-grant from the state of Nebraska, it's affording us a lot of opportunities right now that I am pushing our brand in every which way and every which direction. A lot of which is in a lot of the colleges and universities across the state, all the way from Western Nebraska over to the east side at Creighton University. And of course, the University of Nebraska Lincoln down here, just down the street. You're going to see the logo plastered everywhere, and volleyball in Memorial Stadium and Creighton's CHI arena. But just the opportunity that we have right now to make an impact on those kids. And then when we have servant leaders like yourself who are hammering home, not only to your company, but as a board member, and the importance of, hey, all it's going to take is one adult to make that difference in that child's life. And just to be able to associate those two brands together. And then not only that, but to associate ourselves with other brands across the state of Nebraska, it just creates this alignment and unity. And at the end of the day, what is our goal? We need more mentors, and we need folks to donate to help support that mission of Coach Tom and Nancy Osborne about positively impacting that world by inspiring students to reach their full potential through mentoring. And so the opportunity that we have right now, like I'm only 3 months in here at TeamMates, and then when I got to come in and it had this opportunity to just like go and do, it's pretty incredible. I'm very passionate about being a servant leader. And again, providing those opportunities for students, that's our number one goal, and getting them the mentors they need. And every student deserves a mentor if they want a mentor. It's not just for what may be the stereotype of, maybe troubled kids. No, that's incorrect. Mentoring, TeamMates mentoring is for all students who want a mentor.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
Kevin, we alluded earlier about this corporate model.
Mm-hmm.
How, Acres, incredible company, 27 stores, but yet the partnership that TeamMates Mentoring has with Acres, not only are you supporting our efforts by asking, not asking, but you told you told your employees to get involved.
Sometimes as a leader, I'm not sure there's a difference, right? Do you tell or ask?
Yeah. But then also, you also support the sustainability of our organization when it comes to those gifts. As a nonprofit, I don't think a lot of people understand how hard it is for organizations like us to sustain itself for 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're a businessman, and we have a lot of people that are listening, and maybe they don't have the time, but maybe they have other resources. Tell everyone why it's so important for, as they think about year-end giving, as they think about, why should I support an organization like TeamMates? Why is it important to support TeamMates with a gift?
That's a great point, because not everybody has the time or even the consistency of time to be a mentor, right? So, somebody like me who travels a lot and has a very hectic schedule, it's very difficult for me to have the same time every week to be a mentor. In fact, I remember when Coach Osborne had called and asked me to be on the board, and my first thing that was in my head is, do I have time for this? And he immediately said, of course you have time, Kevin. And he was right. And of course, the impact of being able to do that through an organization versus individually was important. But if you don't have the individual time, or your schedule doesn't allow for that, being able to contribute financially is important as well, because that structure that I mentioned earlier doesn't come free. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people involved to make that happen, and to be able to support that financially so that you can work in perpetuity as a not-for-profit is really important. And so every time somebody gives money to that, is really important for that sustainability of the organization going forward. Mm-hmm. And as a board member, I can attest firsthand that when you donate to TeamMates, that the money is being spent wisely and directly in support of the overall mission. It is not being done for anything else. And that makes it easier to donate financially.
I think there are so many more CEOs that need to hear this message, and we're going to continue that, after the break. TeamMates Timeout with DeMo and Ash, special guest, President CEO Kevin Clark from Acres. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in 5.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Early break. There's quite a situation going on.
What?
Jake's been asked to step away on Fridays from now on.
Yeah,
they want to bring. Young Ben has been dubbed as the curse breaker. He's been dubbed as the curse breaker, and Jake's been asked kindly to step away.
Just for Fridays.
Just Fridays.
Just Fridays only.
Game
day only.
Yes.
Game day eve only.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Teammates Timeout with DeMo and Ash on 93.7 The Ticket. Again, we are joined by Acre CEO Kevin Clark. Kevin, before we went to that last break, we were talking about Acre's corporate mentoring model. And I'm going to throw out a stat for you. 80%, let me start over. 86% of mentors are more engaged at work or at home after they meet with their mentee. Now, you have implemented this corporate mentoring model within Acres. Can you tell us one more time just the importance again of why you did that for your employees?
Sure. It comes down to two things. One, it gave them an avenue to be able to give something back, and an easy avenue with that structure already in place. Two, I think from a employee engagement standpoint, it gives them the ability to kind of reset, refresh, and see the world from different eyes, even if it's only for 45 minutes to an hour. And it makes them a better person, but also probably a better employee in terms of the engagement, not only with the outside world, but their fellow employees at the same time. And I think it gives them that sense of hope and gratitude and self-fulfillment of what they do to make them a better person, a better employee at the same time. One of the things that we did is we wanted to remove all of the barriers or obstacles in terms of being able to do this. So we give them the time away from work to be able to do this. At the end of the day, it's not a huge time commitment.
Right.
But we didn't want work getting in the way of that. So we encouraged them to be able to do this and be gone for that hour or so to be able to do that without any, detriment from their work, scheduling or anything like that, which I think that was very, very helpful from that standpoint. But I think it's worth it for us. I think it's probably better than most of the training stuff that we've sent employees to. They actually probably get more out of this, both in terms of self-fulfillment as well as give back to the community and makes them probably a better employee from that standpoint.
And you currently have, 36, 38 employees
Yeah,
currently involved?
that I think when we kicked this off, we had 4 or 5 employees back when I first met you, 14 months ago.
Yeah.
And now I believe we have about 38, and we have more people signed up that are going through the vetting process now.
What is your goal for 2025?
Well, I wanted to get us up to 50. So
All
we'll see if we
right.
can get to 50.
Yes,
and,
I love that goal.
And if we can do 50 in our organization, there's a lot of organizations out there that can do 50 or even 5 or 10 or whatever the right number is for them. But it removes again those obstacles and barriers to do it. And I don't really see a downside for organizations trying to participate in something like this. It's minimal time commitment with a huge payback.
Absolutely. Not only for your employees, but again, yes, to the employees and the interaction they're getting with those kids. But again, like we said, those 86% of mentors come back to work after meeting with their mentee, just more engaged, more excited to be there. So again, thank you for implementing that at Acres, because we're kind of using your model, so using it in different organizations as well.
And I do hope that as we have more employees that become mentors, that becomes self-perpetuating too, right? They encourage other employees to engage and do it at the same time. So I'm very, very proud of our employees, and we make sure all the employees that are engaged with it get some special gifts for that as well.
Ooh, yeah.
So,
DeMo's actually wearing that swag right now.
Yeah, he's got one of the pieces right there.
Oh yeah, yep, one. And I heard that you guys got some long sleeve shirts.
We do. We have some jackets. It's wintertime now, so we had to get some jackets made. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll make sure to get you one of those.
Okay. Yeah, and Kevin, it's very rare to have board members from an organizations to be able to show up the way that you are doing, for Teammates mentoring, to be able to share with the world, everyone that's watching, everyone that's listening, why important Teammates mentoring is for you as a servant leader. There are other CEOs out there. There are other decision makers out there. What would you tell them? Not ask them, but tell them, just like you told your employees, about why it is important for them to use their platform as a way to help us provide more mentors to students, not because they need a mentor, but because they want a mentor.
I think, it's easy to get lost in the fog of the day-to-day business world. And I think any CEO would tell you that there's so many things coming at you that you've got to focus your time and energy on certain things. And so you've got to pick what matters to you and to your organization and to your key stakeholders. And when you pick those, dedicate yourself to those and make sure you do a good job with those. If you try to spread yourself too thin over too many pieces and parts of that, it'll get lost in that same fog. And so when you can find an organization like TeamMates that has a huge impact on young people's lives and communities, it makes it a lot easier to be able to commit to something like that. So even if it wasn't a teammate scenario, I would always encourage people to say, hey, pick one or two things and focus and dedicate to that. And obviously in Nebraska, it's very easy to choose teammates because the impact it has across the entire state, and now even expanding into other states all surrounding here. And when you think about the impact on, I said 47,000 earlier, you said 49. So I was a couple thousand short. So 49,000 students, since 1991. When Nancy made Tom do it.
Yes.
Which I do believe that story.
Oh,
I think
yes.
pretty sure he told me that. So I do believe it. So I think it's really important for CEOs to be able to focus on that. And then I think when they're able to encourage their organization, we joke about telling and asking, but it's really about encouraging, right? Because you can't force somebody to do it. They've got to want to do it, but removing those barriers and obstacles, again, I think is really important. To not only encourage them, but then remove any other obstacles for it. And that payback and karma will come back in multiple ways for people.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, as we get ready to wrap up, I got to ask, as I said, you are teammates because you're on our board. But if we were teammates, what position would you play on like a football team? What position would you play?
So does coach count, or does he have to be a player?
First answer we got on that.
I have never heard of that. So
I love it.
So you want to coach. Now, would you coach a position or would you just coach the whole team?
I'd probably want to be there with the Acres headset on, probably, right? So
the head coach, of course. Well, Kevin Clark, you are the head coach of Acres, president and CEO, but also very fortunate for you to be our teammates board member. So thank you for what you're doing for this organization. Ash, I'll let you wrap it up.
All right, crew, you know the drill. Join the team, be a mentor, head to teammates.org for more information. DeMo has a co-host next week. I'm going to be on the road in Kansas, so tune in next week.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down, but don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning December 1st. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your holiday, birthday, or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at doubleeagle.golf.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off every